I appreciate it. And thank you to Mr. Kvaal for spending time with us today and for your willingness to serve. I want to talk a little bit about supporting minority students because in Clark County, Nevada, nearly half of our K through 12 students are Latino, and statewide, half of our colleges are Hispanic serving institutions or HSIs. We also have one of the fastest growing AAPI populations in the country, and we're home to UNLV, one of the nation's few Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institutions, or ANAPs. So what would you do if confirmed to support HSIs or ANAPs and college students of color more broadly, please?
Senator, thanks for the question. And one of the reasons that I'm inspired by the opportunity to serve in the Biden administration is how much he talks about the importance in investing in institutions that serve the most students of color and the most low-income students. And, as I'm sure you're aware, he campaigned on an ambitious plan to invest in those types of colleges. I'd be eager to be a part of carrying out those promises. I think one of the first orders of business would be aggressively implementing the resources that Congress has provided in the recent economic recovery packages. And, I'd say I think it's also particularly important that the voices representing those institutions are heard at the highest levels of the department and the administration.
Thank you. I'd like to talk and just move on a little bit to our federal TRIO programs, because they provide individualized tutoring, mentoring, and advising for first generation and low income college students with disabilities, and they help them enter and complete college. So in the fiscal year 2020 in Nevada, TRIO served over 7,000 students in 31 TRIO programs. TRIO improves college enrollment and completion, which actually leads to higher lifetime earnings for students, which creates tax-paying citizens and reduces costs for government services later in life. I've joined 40 of my Senate colleagues in urging that the December COVID relief bill include TRIO as an allowable use of higher education funds. And although we were successful, colleges continue to face dramatic revenue losses to increase costs that will make it difficult for many of them to continue their TRIO services. So if confirmed, will you support an increase in President Biden's fiscal year 2022 budget to help expand the TRIO programs to help our low-income students with disabilities, first-generation students?
Senator, thanks for the question. The TRIO programs, of course, have a long history coming out of the civil rights movement in helping low-income students and first-generation students earn college degrees. I believe they have now contributed to millions, literally millions of college degrees, and I think they play a very important role in promoting equal opportunity. And if I am confirmed, I will strongly support the TRIO programs.
And in addition to supporting, you've worked in higher education for many years. How might you expand? Do you see an opportunity for us to expand and grow these programs to help many more students achieve their goals?
I hope so, Senator. I think that they would be worthy recipients of additional federal resources for sure.
Thank you. I'd like to move on and talk a little bit about digital learning. Of course, during the pandemic, COVID-19, it really exacerbated the inequities facing college students, of course, all of our students, and so many of us in every other way, but particularly those students with the digital divide. It disproportionately affects Blacks, Latinos, Native households. Rural communities, like in our state of Nevada, they're really struggling to begin or continue their education in this last year. So what role do you see for the department in helping to close that digital divide for college students, for students of color, for our rural populations? And if so, how are you going to be able to address this problem through the Department of Education?
Thank you for the question. It's clear that the pandemic has revealed just how wide the digital divide is and how much many communities struggle to access broadband. And even as hopefully students return safely to campuses, the digital divide is going to remain a really important barrier to equal educational opportunity and a problem for many other reasons as well. I'd be delighted to explore with you what the Department of Education can do and how we can advocate for broadband investments with other federal agencies as well.
Thank you very much. I think broadband is critical infrastructure, so I look forward to those conversations. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you. Senator Hickenlooper.